Welcome. I've got a wine I like to taste with you today. It's the Sassicaia vintage 2006 Italian Super Tuscan, one of the most known and established. The first vintage was 1968. In Cese della Rocchetta family has been helped by Antoniori family to help bring it to the market because they did not really have experience in that sort of market. Since then, wine evolved and there were a number of great Sassicaia produced, namely going back from the most recent ones, 2021, 2016, 2013 as well was exceptional, and probably one of the most established vintages, one of the most recognized vintages of SAS, 1985. That's a true superstar vintage. This is really made in a style of Bordeaux. That's what wrong. Sorry, take that, scratch that, forget I say that. Is inspired by the great wines of Bordeaux, and it is typically 85% Cabernet, a blend of 85% Cabernet Sauvignon, 15% Cap Franc. That may varies. Oak is not excessive, 50 to 60% new. Beautiful terroir, rich in limestone and gravel soils, and that shows in the wine. I mean, this wine is 2 decades old, and you see it start to sort of fade towards mahogany rim, and sort of that's what really prerequisite of that wine was. And there are 3 wines. Well, that's another similarities to great wines of Bordeaux, because that's what typically Bordeaux does. Top grapes, top selection goes to their first wine, in this case Sassicaia, and then trickles down. Sassicaia's got second wine, which is called Guidalberto, and third wine called Il Difese. So that's that. I mean, let's have a look. Now, I have to confess, I really love Sassicaia, and I always have a bottle of Sassicaia ready in my Eurocave to enjoy. They're phenomenal wines. Would you confuse them with Bordeaux? Yes, you might. That stylistically very much is in that vein. This is what I really like. I mean, 06 is one of the great vintages of Sassicaia. I mean, you can look at score. The scores sort of circulate between sort of 96, 97 points. That's extremely high. That would very comfortably compete with greatest Bordeaux's. Very comfortably. Oh, pretty, beautiful aromas. It's got that pinch of smokiness, old leather, balsamic, red currants, strawberries, dark cherry, black currant. It's got that lovely gravelly. It's very fine. It's very nicely lifted aromatics, and I think you as well do have that sort of floral characteristics which Cabernet Franc brings, and this is actually really pretty here. So you have that sort of the potted soil, green crushed, freshly crushed herbs. When you chop the herbs and you crush them, you've got that sort of the herbal element. And that's there, and it's really, really pretty. Now, one other thing is the wine is not excessive, as you would see, 13.5, and that's what they usually have. So that's sort of the really where you want them to be. Gorgeous. Actually, palate, the nose seems to be makes you think of a wine that is quite supple, round, delicate. palate is more dynamic, crisp, energetic. There is still a lot of vibrancy. The tannins are very smooth, silky. They very well integrated to the structure of the wine. The wine is actually leaner than you might initially think by smelling this. So really lovely brightness and freshness on the palate. It's long, yeah, it does last. Leaves you this sort of lovely earthy mineral characteristics with sort of fruit intertwined with it. Very, very pretty wine, extremely pretty. I mean, almost 2 decades old. So as well, you could drink Sass young. Well, if you do that, probably go second wine. But you really want Sass to be sort of within that sort of window between 10 to 30 years old. Of course, it can age longer and so on. But I think at least 10 years is the good time when you could start to pulling the cork on them and enjoying them, hopefully with friends and like-minded people. The only one thing's missing is you to have this glass with, to share the glass with. Cheers, all the best, and I will speak to you soon. Ciao.